tomorrow. We got fights in Australia. We have fights in the UK. It is a busy boxing weekend. This live stream, I've been talking about it for a few weeks, maybe a few months, to do a MMA live stream at the end of the week, and that's what this one is. So we're going to go over the big fights that are taking place. UFC 323. There's some money to be made. There's an underdog I really like. I'm going to be bringing on, I put the link in our Discord, and I'm waiting on Breaking Bad to come on. He's going to join me on this live stream, and you guys are going to be able to pick our brains on who we like. We're going to build a parlay together. We're going to tell you who to take. We're going to tell you our props, dogs, all that good stuff. Guys, what you see here pinned in the comment section is access to our Discord. It's a couple bucks a month. Become a VIP on YouTube, a Johnny Says Boxing Insider. Couple bucks a month, guys. Join our growing community. We amassed 300 VIPs just a week or so ago, and we're growing. So come join. We're not just boxing, as you can tell. We're MMA. In the Discord, we also have NHL, NBA. We're going to be the F1 season coming to an end. So when F1 starts again, basketball, baseball, hockey, and then, pretty much whatever you guys want. So join that community. It's excellent. We live stream fights, and we make money, man. And that's what it's all about. So I'm going to pin this here. As you guys are tapping in, let me know where you're coming from. Just do me a couple things and like the video as you come. Let me know where you're coming from, and we'll get this thing started. UFC 23 is going to be popping. We're excited about it. I'll bring up the fights here in a second so you guys can see. Oh no, MMA boxing addicts. You thought, no, man. So if you didn't know, this is great. Before we get too busy, I'll tell you. I've been, podcasting. I started my first podcast in 2014 in Australia. I was interviewing MMA fighters for over a decade. My first book, chapter 7 in my first published book, is Hoist Gracie. So, I've been watching UFC since November 11th, 1993, UFC 1. I remember having to get the VHS tapes and watching hours upon hours. I've watched all the Pride fights. Boxing's my first love. MMA has always been my side chick. That's what I always say. So, I'm such an MMA nerd. I watch regional MMA. Everything from CFFC. I remember watching Cage Warriors when Connor was fighting in Cage Warriors. I remember telling people about Patty the Batty at Cage Warriors. So I'm a combat sports nerd. It's just that 2 years ago, I made a conscious effort to consolidate my YouTube and just focus on boxing. And since I've done that, it's really helped the channel grow. So we do both. So what are your what do you like, addicts? What are your fights this weekend? I'm gonna pull up the schedule real quick. So this is what we got. So I'll go over the fights. I'm waiting for Breaking Bad to tap in. We just started. We're only a few minutes in. There's 18 boys coming through. I'm texting Breaking Bad now. Nick, if you guys aren't following Nick from Breaking Bad, follow him. He's a beast. We're live. We're live. Ready when you are. Ready when you are. So what I'm going to do is go over these fights real quick, and then I'll pull the odds up, and then I'll bring Breaking Bad on. So we got obviously the rematch, world title, Marab versus Yan. Pantoja versus Van. And we're going to go over all these fights in detail. I'm just going to read them down to you. Maybe you guys could spark some interest in your own ideas. Moreno versus Tyara. Cejudo versus Peyton Talbot. Blachowicz versus Guskov. Grant Dawson versus Manny Torres is the fight I'm most looking forward to. So, and the Van Pantoja. But I'm a big Manny Torres fan. I mean, T-Rex is on this card. McKinney versus Duncan. That's going to be a fire fight. Macy Barber versus Karina Silva. Farisiam versus Nassim Sadikov. Vittoria versus Ferreira. Barbosa versus Jalen. Jalen told us he retired not too long ago, and Jalen's back. I'm never too confident when fighters kind of take the gloves off after a performance or so, and they mentally check out. They say they're retired, and then they come back. I first interviewed Edson Barbosa in 2015, and I remember asking him, this was 10 years ago. I think he had just turned maybe 30 or 31, and we were talking about how long he had been in the game. I think he knocked out Terry Edom in, I think, 2012 or 2011, and Yeah, Barbosa's an OG. This is an interesting fight. Aslan versus Baranowski, Malik versus Tricoli, and Naimov versus dude Myron Santos too, man. Myron Santos is a fun little prospect slash contender. The MMA heads will know about Myron Santos from the UFC Ultimate Fighter House. We're really watching a kid grow up right in front of our eyes. That's really the difference between boxing and MMA or boxing and UFC is the UFC, man, because there aren't. This is something nobody talks about. People always talk shit about the sanctioning bodies in boxing, the WBC, the major ones, the WBC, the WBA, the IBF, and the WBO. But because of those four promotions, you kind of have a systematic approach of how to move a guy, how to move a fighter, right? UFC, there ain't no moving a fighter. You ain't. By the time the minute you step into the UFC, you're getting tested. And I think Dana White has gotten a little bit better in this version of UFC than he was 10 years ago. The shit he did to Rory McDonald, he should go to prison for. The shit he did to uh, the kid from one of my favorite strikers. Dana White was notorious for taking young up and coming prospects and just feeding them to savages. You're starting to see less and less of this, but I bring this up because Myron Santos, when you look at him, long legs, striker. There's a little bit of Anderson Silva in there. There's a lot to like. Super athletic, and I like him in this fight. I'm gonna pull up those odds in a second. Duncan and Santos are single bets. I'll be with you guys in a second. I'm pulling up the year. Yeah, it was 2017 when Dana White gave a 22, 23-year-old Yair Rodriguez Frankie Edgar. It's like, what are you doing, dude? You know what I mean? Yair Rodriguez ended up becoming, he ended up having a good career. But in 2017, Yair was young and he was already selling out arenas in Mexico. Yair Rodriguez was on a trajectory of becoming that superstar. I'm talking, I don't know if you guys remember this, and gorgeous striker, super athletic. And he gives Yair Rodriguez a 2-division savage in Frankie Edgar. And Edgar just bulldogged, older brothered him for the entire fight. And it really kind of stalled and changed the entire trajectory of Yair. And I use that as an example. I use Rory McDonald, how they did Rory, 20, 21 years old, coming out of TriStar, giving him I mean, how old was Rory when he fought Robbie? 21, 22? Wasn't you see my point. Because it's just the UFC, by the time you make it to the UFC, there aren't any sort of step aside fights. There aren't any sort of moving you along sort of. You get found out, and I think that's a bad thing. I mean, granted, the upside of that is like, all right, the best fighters will eventually fight each other, but at the same time, man, you got the downside of that is just totally killing a guy's prime. We've seen it time and time again. How old was Rory when he fought? So Rory is still only 36 years old. It's freaking insane. People, you guys might forget how much hype he had. Rory McDonald was that dude. He fought Robbie Lawler in 2015, so that would have been almost 11 years ago. He fought Robbie Lawler the first time in 2013, so almost, Jesus Christ, almost 13 years ago. He would have been 23. So Rory was 22, 23 when they give him a savage like Robbie Lawler, who was already in the game. Robbie turned pro in like 2002, was already a decade-long pro, was a Pat Miletich guy. Robbie had already kind of, been kicked out of the UFC and come back, and he was on his run at 170. And this was the day and age, in my opinion, the greatest welterweight era of at least strikers. You had Matt Brown, Carlos Condit. You had Eric Tiger Silva from Brazil. You had obviously Rory. You had Robbie. You had Nick Diaz. Dude, it was one of my favorite. Dude, you had Paul. They kicked him out. The kid from Simtex. Paul Daly, dude. Daly didn't get the run he should have had in the UFC because, Dana kicked him out. But fucking hell, man. Dana White has been notorious for just taking prospects and just devouring them. But that's the beast. That's the beast. So we're going to get into it. We're about 10 minutes in. Manny, my guy, you told me you would. He's back. Manny R. The Discord link, boys, is on the community section post. Manny, that's how you get the Discord link. To join our private betting Discord VIP, couple bucks a month like Manny, guys. That link is pinned here in this comment section. Good to see the boys tapping in. Second live stream. We got 25 people in here. Remember, boys, this is an MMA and UFC live stream. Interim champ. Yeah, Yair. Yair was El Pantera, guys. Don't sleep. Here we go. Mike from Melbourne, my guy. Sub Johnny Pantoja deserved favor, but Van's creative combination punching could be Van's kryptonite. Look, guys, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I feel that Charles Johnson should be CJ's fight. I like Josh Van. I like Josh Van's boxing, but I'm just kind of over how much. What's the word? The disrespect energy gets, man. That dude is a savage. It's now or never, too. Give the kid a shot. You know, Charles Johnson went in as like a 4-1 dog against Van. Wasn't that long ago. And I told the boys on my Instagram story, Charles Johnson's not losing to Josh Van. Charles Johnson's over. I remember watching Charles Johnson's climb before the LFA. He was in like he fought at like the sub-regional scene. I remember hearing about him when he was training at Tiger Muay Thai. I'm such an MMA nerd, I would watch the Tiger Muay Thai tryouts on YouTube. So every year, Tiger Muay Thai has a scholarship. And one of my buddies actually won it in 2016. A lot of guys came through Tiger. Dan the Hangman Hooker, Alex Volkanovski, Peter Yan, and Charles Johnson was one of these guys. I first heard of him from the reality show, and then I watched him on the regional scene. I watched him come up through the LFA. Every fight he's kind of the underdog, and you just see this well-rounded MMA skill set, this cardio, this awkward striking, and he kind of, Josh Van a little bit too soon. Josh Van, his third fight in the UFC? He was 21-22. Now Van gets the title shot, and they just give Charles Johnson just tough contender after tough contender. I think Pantoja taps Van. So I like Joshua Van. Some of my favorite boxing in the UFC. I like, Adrian Yanez, one of my favorite boxers in the UFC in terms of being able to box, like set things up in the pocket. In MMA, you don't see, Josh Van will use foot feints. Van and Yanez, great boxing. Peter Yan, who's on this card, great boxing. Ilya Topuria, great boxing. So Josh Van's a joy to watch. I just think Pantoja is going to be one of those champions that won't be really loved until he retires. I could see Pantoja, he could bang too. Pantoja got hands. So I could see Pantoja standing with Josh as long as he wants and then getting his back. Once Pantoja's on your back, it's a wrap. So I like the submission in that fight. I'm taking Pantoja by sub. We'll wait till some of the boys come on. Yeah, last time Yan put up a great endurance performance, but this time Marab really knows how to work around to finish him. Yeah, and how do you beat Marab, guys? How do you beat Marab? What's the path to victory to beat that guy? Could you see a more aggressive Peter Yan? He has to be. I could see it. Yan is. Do you guys remember when Yan was the world champ? Yan had a sort of air about him. It was when Peter Yan went on his run. When Piotr Yan went on his run to become the champ, it kind of reminded me in terms of like the aura around him when Joanna Jędrzejczyk went on her run. When Joanna, I saw Joanna fight live in person in 2015. I went to UFC 293 in Melbourne. That was the fight when Ronda Rousey got head kicked against Holly Holm. I was in the 4th row. The night before that, I went to see my buddy open for Joe Rogan. A little bit of a name drop. One of my childhood friends is a comic named Tony Hinchcliffe. And in 2015, Tony hit me up. He was like, I'm opening for Rogan in Melbourne. It was in St. Kilda. So in 2015, I take one of the boys. We fly to Melbourne. We see Tony and Rogan. And then we go to the UFC the next day. And Jędrzejczyk was on that card. She fought the girl from San Diego who just won $1 million in the PFL tournament. Her name's slipping my mind. It'll come to me. I think Italian last name. And when Jędrzejczyk was doing her thing, man, people were like, "Who the hell is this girl? Just massive volume, technical striker." And she was just blitzing people until she wasn't. And Peter Yan was kind of doing the same thing until he wasn't. So we just got to see how much of that Jan has left. Because that style, it doesn't age well. That strike, especially in MMA. He's a dog, though, man. Pantoja is just like Mighty Mouse. No one will miss him. Yeah, great point, man. Mighty Mouse, dude. That fucking flying armbar against the kid from New Mexico, the kid from Texas. God damn it! I watched so many fights. It was brilliant. You know what was the fight? The kid from we just saw him. Yeah, Hinchcliffe is a close friend of mine. We grew up in Youngstown, Ohio. Ha! I get hit up Hinchcliffe. Yeah. I when I was 13, Tony was 11 on my little league on my the league after little league. This is how I know Pavlik too. Kelly Pavlik's one of my closest friends. I met Tony 2 years later playing baseball. So Tony was like the little homie that I kind of like, didn't let anybody fuck with. You guys are all my friends. John A, I forgot to tell you, you made my YouTube rap. Thanks, playa. What does that mean? Everyone in boxing is popping before the Neon Funk Master. What did So Jan was able to get Jan was able he could wrestle, he could grapple. Jan was able to get and reverse 2 takedowns on Marab. Marab is not a good submission artist, but it's possible. I see that top pressure though, mate. And then I see Marab double chance submission. You think Jan is going to have to win a points decision? You were in the top 5. I most viewed. Appreciate you, Dwayne. Still good, my guy. Hopefully you're training. We saw Dwayne in the gym yesterday. Guys, I'm wrong for being too confident that Naimov is going to get that W. All right, let's pull up the odds. Guys, we're about 20 minutes in. Pull up the odds. Pull them up. I'm going to show you a picture real quick. Okay. Share this tab. We're going to check the odds out right now. And then you boys, so Sam Matseki says, you like Naimov. Wow. You like Naimov over Santos. Let's see these odds. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. What is it? Why do you like Naimov to beat Santos? I want to hear your reasoning before I give you mine. (13-3). That dude, Naimov, didn't we see him? Isn't he the one who got stopped? Yeah, we saw him get choked out. Eric, so he's on a bit of a run. Unanimous. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think he's going to be enough. I don't think his style's enough. I think Myron sort of drowns him. Martin Vittori is on my no bet list. I'm not. I don't bet, dude. I mean, how? Let me ask you boys. Let me ask you boys. How successful have you been betting with Martin Vittori over the last 5 fights? You know what I mean? So that's when I go into my MMA. We're gonna build a parlay here in a second. These are questions you got to ask yourself. Like, if you find yourself taking a fighter because you like them or you feel that they're cool, and you're betting on them, don't do that. That's bad logic. You know what I mean? Look, he's not been what 3 in a row. Look at his last form. I mean, what I don't know, man. This screams no bet list. He loses to Izzy. So since 2021, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is he? 3-5 since 2021? I mean, there's so many other fights on this card. Victoria shit, I just get against him by decision. He's durable. He is durable. He's durable. I know Peter Hand wasn't good in the first fight. Look at the video and see how he wasn't throwing his right. El Pelon. Will Edson Barbosa lose to Turner on MMA card? So the thing you got to ask yourself with Barbosa and Turner, Jalen told us that he retired, right? He psychologically tapped out. He said he was done, and then all of a sudden he came back. And so this is his first fight since the comeback. Edson Barbosa, you know what you're going to get with Barbosa. He's been in the game forever. I mean, he's going, what, 15th year? Maybe something like that. Coach Bermudez, I'll be in Sydney on the 12th. Yes, sir. Coach Bermudez, message, email me or send me a message in Discord. Tell me how to contact you. I'll give you my number. I want to link up. I'll go to your gym. So Coach Bermudez, I'll meet you whatever gym you're training at. I'll bring some gear to film, and I'll do a bunch of features on the fighters too, and I'll get to meet you. I'll show you around Sydney. It'll be fun. That's soon, man. That's next week. Let's go. I favor Sadikov too. I feel he can get inside. He has better inside. Guys, in about 5 minutes, Nick from Breaking Bad is coming on. That's why I'm kind of stalling a bit to build the parlay. We're building a parlay here shortly, so I'm kind of stalling. The boys. Marab, all points TV. Marab striking is better and he's stronger than Yan. It's just Marab's pace and that style. You know what I'm saying? No matter what game plan you throw against Marab, you're gonna have to lean on the fact that you're not gonna out grit him. You're not gonna out cardio him. You're not gonna out work him. So at the end of the day, it's a dog fight. It's tough to see that style getting beat. I doubt he gets to the decision. Plus, Marab sitting on his punches and hurt Sean in his last opponent. I don't see Jan winning 3 rounds clearly. Bondi Boxing Club. Okay, I'll message Tony Del Vecchio. I know Tony Del Vecchio. That's excellent. Good to know. That's right off of So if you guys are staying in the city, you're gonna take the train line. It's right past Central. It's a stop right past Central. Yeah, Bondi Boxing. That's exactly where that is. Excellent. I'll be up there. I'll let him know I'm coming. Barbosa looked tired in that last fight. He always gives 100. Dude, Edson's like 40-something years old, boys. How much does he have left? Jalen came back. Jalen wanted this fight. I'm probably going to lean on Turner, even though I don't like – it's hard for me to bet against Edson. OG. What did my pops always said? Johnny, bet with your wallet, not with your heart. Peter, Planny, seeing the video playback. Oh, David Eister. Bro, where you been at, brother? David used to be an OG on all of – when I first started live streaming like 6-7 months ago, Eister was on all the live streams. Johnny, what do you think about Lara stopping Johan Gonzalez? I got mixed up too. I said Johan Gonzalez minus 130. The only thing is, can Johan hurt Lara? If so, look, David, what I tend to do, this is a boxing question. I'm going to take it because David's my boy. It's a last-second replacement fight. We know that Alam Hanalei popped. We know that Johan Gonzalez is a last-minute replacement. He was training. Lara's a tough problem to solve without a... Lara's a freaking tough problem to solve with a full training camp, let alone with no camp. I'm not betting that fight. To sum it up, I'm not betting the Lara versus Gonzalez fight. It's one of those boundaries that I have. My no bet list, one of those no bet lists consists of late last second fights. I don't do it. We back the MMA era. You know what, Usyk? We started MMA years ago. I've been in the MMA, and then we came back. So this version, Johnny says MMA era, we back up. Jalen is so undurable, but I got him in parlays. He has a lot more weapons than his opponent. Yeah, he's gonna stand and trade with Edson. Edson has, Edson's learned how to wrestle and grapple. Edson's just old, man. I feel bad. I feel Jalen should get it done. All right, I'm gonna show you the odds. I'm gonna show you. I want to get your opinion, boys. I'm gonna show you the upset. I'm gonna give you my upset relating to the odds. Guys, we are approaching 30 minutes. Could you give me a thumbs up? Like this video. Let me know where you're tapping in from. Join the Discord, guys. Click the link. And if you're in the Discord, it's a new month, so you need to re-up your membership. Couple bucks a month. It allows me to do this, trying to do this full time. All right, boys, here we go. That Terrence McKinney, Chris Duncan fight, bro. This fight. I like Chris Duncan. I remember watching Duncan overseas in Cage Warriors. He's known for being in wars. The thing about this, why I feel these odds are the way they are, is because McKinney is live by the sword, die by the sword. Duncan is tough it out, die by the sword until you break your opponent. So unless T-Rex knocks out Duncan cold, I think Duncan stops McKinney. I mean, McKinney's never gone. Has McKinney ever been in a fight that didn't end by knockout one way or the other? I don't think so. It's a crazy stat. Dude, if I were Dana White and the powers that be, I'm putting Terrence McKinney on every fight card. Something even crazier. Has Terrence McKinney ever won a performance of the night bonus? Something insane. I think it was him that I saw, like, he starches when he wins, it's like highlight reel knockout stuff. And I don't think he gets as many knockout, POTNs as he should. But he's instant entertainment. If you guys are tuning into any of the fights, watch this fight. Chris Duncan is a goddamn zombie as well. The thing is, this fight is going to come down to durability, and McKinney's not durable, man. McKinney is like Michael Johnson from Temu. Shout out to my boy Michael Johnson, dude. Michael Johnson, 58 years old, still good. That's my guy. I remember when Michael Johnson was early days Black Zillions. This was when they were the Black Zillions before they turned to Sanford MMA, and then Sanford MMA. They had like 7 different names, but this was like young Kamaru Usman. You had Abel Trujillo. You had Michael Johnson. You had who else were on those OG Black Zillion squads? This was before Rockhold. Rockhold was training at Ruka out west. He didn't come down to South Florida for like, I think, until like maybe the first Bisping fight. Still good. That shit will always be funny to me. That shit will always be funny to me. Dwayne Styles, stay up. Be good, boy. Live bet Duncan after he gets dropped 3 times. Dude, 100%. Live bet Duncan after he gets dropped 3 times. But he's like a zombie in there. Talbot wins by decision. We'll get to that in a second. Terrence has never seen this in a definite feast or famine. That's right. I gotta be honest with you. That dude, I had to unfollow him because like 4% of his content makes me laugh, and then 96% is so dark. Like, I'm like a type of dude, like, if you know, I always say it, if you know me, I'm cracking jokes, we're clowning. I'm like the archetypal optimist. I see the good in people. You watch that dude's content, it just gets dark. I found myself like I had to unfollow him, but those first few videos that made him go viral, the still good ones, when he's talking about how the first time he paid for box and he was going through the box spot. That shit was hilarious. In tens of underdogs, Bogdan too quick, explosive for Jan. Yeah, Jan Blachowicz, no bet list. If Jan can slow the fight down, gets on top with leg control. Jan's on my no bet list, though. I got a few. This card's filled with some no bet list people. Here's my dog. Here's my dog, boys. Right here. This will not be a popular decision. This will not be a popular decision. I'm going Manny Torres. I love these odds. Anybody like these odds? This is my guy. I'm taking Manny Torres to beat Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson's style, man, he's stiff, and he's like in a rush to be a superstar, but he's not marketable. He's a good guy though, and he seems like a good person, but he's not marketable. And he kind of is like, I could see Grant Dawson going heel one day and trying to pull a Colby Covington 2.0. How, with Colby, when Colby started out like 17-0 and he couldn't get any big fights, and then Colby had to turn into like, a cheap man's version of Chael Sonnen, and then he started getting big fights. I could, and even similarly, the style, Grant Dawson's style, kind of reminds me a little bit of Colby Covington. It's just that it's not must-see TV. I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of his style. I mean, look, I'm a striker. He's a good dude. I think I like Manny Torres in this fight. Look, we like what we like, right? We like what we like. That's it. This is Johnny Says Boxing. It's not Johnny Says Grappling. I'm going to pull it up real quick. You give me Manny at plus 181, though. Let's go. Manny Torres, to remind you boys, El Loco, 16-3. That dude, here's Breaking Bad, the big dog. What's up, boy?
What's up, playa? How are you?
Good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. Appreciate
All right, man.
You having me on.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna give you a quick intro. I'll give me 30 seconds to catch you up because it's getting crazy in here. So we're 33 minutes in, guys. If you're not following Breaking Bad, follow him. This is Nick from Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad Boxing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I chop it up about all combat sports in general.
Of course. Yeah, purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Blue belt. I wish soon to be.
Blue belt in jiu-jitsu. So I already told the boys to expect you to come on. I haven't started building a parlay. We talked a little bit about the Barbosa fight, talked a little bit about Martin Vettori. I was currently talking about Manny Torres versus Grant Dawson. I think I called Grant Dawson a Colby Covington from Timu. But I think Grant is going to have to go heel for him to get kind of do what Colby had to do. You know what I'm saying? With that style. But I was telling the boys I kind of like Manny here.
Yeah, well, Grant Dawson doesn't have the cardio to be considered on a Colby Covington level. That dude just loves to gas hard. Who was it? Ricky Glenn that he fought that he damn near died in the cage against.
Carpenter
was
Ricky Glenn.
So
that's your older brother.
what a fucking pull from that one in that case. That's hilarious.
Look at that. My man's dude, Ricky Glenn, dude, he went on this little mini run when he had won I think 3 in a row, and big mustache when he was rocking the mullet. Don't sleep on Ricky Glenn.
Man, that's funny. I just thought that was funny just thinking about in terms of cardio. But I mean, I think you have a lot of good plays on this card.
I'll bring it up.
If we're talking about Torres Dawson, that's what, just so you know, I wasn't ignoring you. I'm just looking at lines. I'm line surfing.
I'm going to bring them up.
I want to get people the best lines that I could find.
Yeah.
The fact that Manuel Torres is a plus 180 alone in a fight that at best should be lined 50-50, because Grant Dawson slows down. Manuel Torres is violent. He brings the violence here. In terms of pure striking wise, you have Grant Dawson who's getting put to sleep by Bobby King by a fucking jab. Excuse my language. So
swear, baby. Swear.
So with all of these things put together, the fact that you're getting someone like Manuel Torres at a plus 180 is absolutely insane, in my opinion. I also like Manuel Torres, and you could play him a few different ways here. if you have DraftKings, they have these props that are finish only lines because I think his way of winning this fight is Grant Dawson's either going to wrestle him to a 28-29 decision or it's going to be Manny Torres finishing this man here. So few ways you can play him is you can play him by finish only. And honestly, this is one of the best ways to play it. You get Manuel Torres by finish only on DraftKings plus 150. So if he finishes Grant Dawson, you get a win. If this fight goes to the cards, regardless who wins, void bet. Void bet. And if Grant Dawson doesn't finish Manuel Torres, which I don't think he does, void bet. To me, it's a perfect bet, quite frankly, here. If you like the Manuel Torres line, you take a little cut on the 35 cents. You play him at plus 150 on DraftKings by finish only. Do you have it by chance? So that's double chance. That's Manuel Torres finishing him. So that's at plus 210. Do you have on your book finish only by chance? I know it's a little bit. It's a very specific bet. It's a very.
I've never seen it.
Bet.
I've never even seen it. Let me double check. Bet to the victory. How will fight end? Ultimate decision. Decision no bet. Is that what is this?
So yeah. So decision no bet. If it goes to the decision, bang right there. Manuel.
What the hell is this?
I got you, brother. I got you.
But go on, explain that shit again. This is kind of blowing my mind. What is this?
Yeah, so this is going to be an official play for me and my boys here this week. So this will be Manuel Torres, finish or no bet. So again, if Manuel Torres gets a finish, submission or a knockout, plus 150, your bet wins. Yeah. If Grant Dawson or Manuel Torres go to the decision, if anyone goes to the cards, it's a void bet. You get your money back. You get your bet back. If Grant Dawson finishes Manuel Torres, which is not in the high probability, in my personal opinion, I think if Grant Dawson wins, it's by crotch sniffing, 28-29 decision. And I don't really see a lot of finishing equity in Grant Dawson. So if you're going to play Manuel Torres, he's more likely than not going to finish Grant Dawson, right? But if you want to be safe, you can play him by the decision. But someone in the comments said Torres seems round one or bust to me. If that's how you feel, you play Manuel Torres then in this case here at the decision, no decision right here. That's how I would play this fight specifically. And I think that's actually a really good bet because if it goes to the cards, no matter who goes to the cards, it's going to be a void bet. You get your money back. I don't think Grant Dawson's going to finish Manuel Torres. I don't think he has the striking equity to do so. I think Manuel Torres is just safe enough on the ground against someone that gasses out by the third round because of how hard he wrestles in Grant Dawson. So I love this bet right here. And again, if you think Manuel Torres wins, I think you think he wins by finish. So it covers all bases, in my opinion. At plus 150, it covers all bases.
Interesting. Is this a prop that you've noticed that has always been around, or is this a newer prop? Because I've never seen it.
It's been around for a few years to say.
Okay, so this is a normal prop.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a normal prop.
No shit.
Yeah.
If the fight decision, no bet. If the fight goes to a decision, including technical decision, bets on this market are void. If a fighter wins by knockout, TKO, or sub, they will be settled as the winner. Wow.
Yeah, man. So I think it's funny because I talked to you a few months back in MMA and we talked about double chance. So we went from double chance. Now we're talking about finish only.
Yeah. I'm generally a money line guy. You know that, or a dog.
I know. Yeah. I just think this is just one of those bets that I really like. I mean, on DraftKings, you have the plus 5.5 spread. I think, again, I think if Manuel Torres wins, he finishes him. But I also think he could steal a round off of Grant Dawson. I don't think Grant Dawson's all that great, to be honest with you. He's very chinny. He's gassy and he's chinny. Those are two things that are automatic negatives to me in MMA. So,
all right, what I'm going to ask from you now, Nick, is a segment that you don't even know about that I'm calling a Breaking Bad Boxing UFC 323 hot take. So, of this card, you already said there's a lot of fights. There's a lot of money on the table. Maybe talk a little bit about something that you got brewing behind the scenes about this card, maybe a specific fight no one's talking about, a big money feature.
Well, big money, man, that's the hard question. I'll tell you one play that I absolutely love for it. That's almost 2-1 money. I love Jalen Turner by submission or decision. It's a little bit risky on betting somebody like Jalen Turner, who's had all the talks of what he's had about with not liking to hurt people anymore, him retiring and now coming back specifically. But when you go to his double chance, you're going to have Jalen Turner by submission or decision, where I think those are his 2 winning line equities. I think he can drag Edson Barbosa into a war. I know that a lot of people think this fight goes to the gets finished at a high clip. I think there's a possibility this fight can go all 3 rounds, because while Edson Barbosa does slow down, he does have enough 3-round cardio to eke through 3 rounds. I mean, we've seen him eke through 5 rounds while absolutely exhausted and gassed out. So if you're looking at something that I think is what you would call the safe bet, you would go to the double chance, back to the double chance market. So
Submission or points?
Points, submission or points right there. Plus 230 on your book. So it's plus 230 on your book. Way better on your book. You should odd shop this a little bit here. On ESPN Bet, it's plus 210. I think it's a great way to go, because I think Jalen Turner either is going to submit him. It could happen via club and sub. It could happen via first round Darce choke. It could happen for some sort of front choke variation. But there's also the chance here that Edson Barbosa makes his life hell for a round. Jalen Turner has to get a little bit of time to build into the fight. Edson Barbosa gasses and Jalen Turner clearly wins a round 3, and then you're going to the cards. So I think you play this fight, Jalen Turner by submission or by points. You probably play a full unit on it. Then you maybe sprinkle a little bit of a 0.4 unit on Jalen Turner by decision at plus 600. So
you could just see, like, one of my favorite things about Edson, you could just see how his fights, the round's going to start. He's going to start those low chopping kicks. He's going to get jabbed, take one, eye swelling within the first 30 seconds. He's
loading
chopping
his hips.
Yeah.
Loading his hips. You know the kick. You know the kick's coming, but the thing is, it's so athletic and so springy that it doesn't matter. Like, it's hilarious. And
it is.
He also has one of my, so I don't think people understand about Shane Burgos. If you go and watch some of Shane Burgos.
Shane Burgos was a dog. Shane Burgos used to train out.
Josh Emmett is like one of the greatest 3-round fights you could ever watch. No one
Burgos used to train out of Jersey with my boy Solomon Renfro. Burgos was a dog, dude.
Renfro, he fought Brent Primus on like short notice, didn't he? In PFL.
Dude, Solomon had so many opportunities, mate. He fought on the Contender before. He fought on he's kind of fought around all these promotions. But yeah, go on. Shane Burgos versus was it Barbosa?
I was just gonna say that knockout by Barbosa against Shane Burgos is like, I don't think people understand how god tough Shane Burgos is, man. Like, getting rocked and dropped 3 times against Josh Emmett, going through absolute wars with Calvin Kattar, like, dude. And the fact that he gave him that late reaction knockout was absolutely scary. But overall here, I think if it's skill for skill, beyond all of the intangibles, all of the things that we can't look at, such as how is Jalen Turner's mindset going to be going to this time? How is the time off going to affect him? So on and so forth. Just skill for skill. The way Jalen Turner wins this fight is keeping Edson Barbosa at range at the end of his punches and taking him down and grappling him. That's how he wins this fight. And what does that equal? That equals a submission or a decision. And you're giving me at that plus 230, in my opinion, 2 or 3 ways that he's going to win this fight. And I think Jalen Turner does win this fight. You're giving me that at 2-1 odds. To me, that's just a good variable. So I like that specifically here, man.
It's wild to remember Burgos.
He's my dog.
Burgos actually having a win over Cub, which is crazy.
Yeah, man. So it's
beat him by split decision. You want to do a little sneaky parlay real quick?
Yeah, you know me. I'm not a huge parlay better, but I feel like I have to do one just talking about it. I feel like these kind of plays.
Give Twiddle some love real quick. How long, Twit? What are we gonna do? 4 legs? 3 legs?
Twiddle, you asking me a lot just doing 2 legs. Can we do 3 legs, Twiddle? Will that work? If I give you a solid banger of 3 legs, can we do 3 legs? Because I'm telling you, I really like the Manuel Torres finish only prop. You already got plus 150. You're giving 2 to 3 odds on Jalen Turner to submission and points. And there's one.
Okay, let me lock those up real quick. Let me lock those up real quick so I don't forget. So you said the Manny Torres or no?
I think Manuel Torres finish only is an incredible prop.
Okay, so Manny Torres finish only. That's all. That's that new bet you're talking. Method of victory. How will fight end? Decision no bet. Yeah, plus 150, right?
Yep.
Okay. And that second one was Jalen Turner, same thing?
Well, no, Jalen Turner, I like his double chance.
Double chance, that's right.
Or submission.
Double chance points for submission.
There's
Yep. Points or submission at plus 230. Nice.
there's one that I want to pull the
It's
trigger
already
on.
7-1, bro. It's already 7-1. Go on.
There's one I want to pull the trigger on, but I like being realistic, right? I like being realistic with what I choose to fight.
We
But
like
there,
when you're realistic too, bro. We like that reality touch too.
like I don't want to pull the trigger on something that's like, all right, now I'm just being messing around and things of that nature, man. But
Who are you gonna, can I guess or no?
yeah,
Just
take
are you
take a
gonna are you going towards the Cejudo fight or no?
I was looking at that here, but it's hard for me to really get towards anything on the Cejudo fight because I think Peyton Talbot's so damn athletic, and I've seen Cejudo slow down so bad.
Yeah.
Even though Raoni Barcelos has a different type of style of wrestling than Cejudo. Cejudo loves that rear body lock to leg trip, and it's a lot harder to do that to taller fighters, lengthier fighters who have athletic hips, as compared to someone like Raoni Barcelos, who's diving in on legs, blast doubling, and things of that nature. Completely different styles of grappling and wrestling. And I do think Cejudo's going to have a hard time wrestling Peyton Talbot. And I don't like the line on Peyton Talbot. At minus 280, it's hard for me to get there.
Here are two fights. So my 2 cents on this card, especially at the main event. I'm still kind of shocked how they're force feeding Tatsuro Taira to us. You're giving me Brandon Moreno a plus money. What are we talking about? That's insane to me. Also, Pantoja. I think Pantoja is going to sub Van. I do. I mean, I won a lot of money on my boy Energy beating Van. I like Van's boxing. I think it's too much too soon, man. I think Pantoja is one of the goats.
I'm going to be honest with you. So I have an issue with each of those plays. The only issue I have with the submission on Pantoja play is we're getting it damn near at negative EV at this point because the line opened up at almost 350 or something crazy, 280, and it's been
at 150.
It's been bet down all the way over $2. So
It's at 150. That's insane.
I'm trying to learn my betting philosophy. A big thing for me is I shared the videos in the Discord as like just a sports betting philosophy kind of videos. Not that I put them up there. It's just something I really listen to and it's really kind of changed. I'm trying to stay away from bets that are considered negative EV. I'm trying to stay away from bets that are, if the line open up too crazy and the line's not meeting what I actually consider it and line it, there is no way I would touch Pantoja's sub at plus 150.
150. Yeah.
In a five-round fight where we've seen Pantoja, even though he fights through exhaustion, get exhausted. We've seen Pantoja in sparring clips get hurt and rocked and stopped to the body. And what does Joshua Van do better than any flyweight on the roster, Johnny? What does Joshua Van do better than any flyweight on the roster?
Don't tell me his boxing.
His body punching.
Yeah,
his body punching. There's
not
a single...
Dude, watch the Charles Johnson fight, though, bro. Charles taught him something.
Hey, hey,
come on. That's my dog.
I don't know if you know this about Charles Johnson.
That's my dog. That's my boy.
I don't know if you know this about Charles Johnson. When he said in his interview, I'm the best 5-round flyweight fighter in the UFC, that was a cheeky call out to me.
Was it?
Combat Sports Today, I tweeted at him via Combat Sports Today. We clipped him, and he reposted me saying that. And he literally, his next fight that same week, knocks out Joshua Van. Shout out my boy Mike Talks. We called that shit. Charles Johnson by finish.
Same. I did too. Yeah, I've known like Charles.
210. He was like,
I've known Charles since Thailand when he was on the Tiger Muay Thai reality show to get a scholarship. And then I've covered his whole career up into the LFA. And I was telling people about Energy fucking 5-6 years ago, dude. And ask Skills in our Discord, Skills was going back and forth with me about he went heavy on Van. I was like, bro, I like Josh. I like Josh's boxing. My boy actually mentors Josh, Ongla and Song. Ongla, both of those guys are Burmese from Myanmar. And I just thought it was too much too soon. I just thought it was too much too soon. I think that Pantoja is one of those guys that won't be loved until he's gone. I think Pantoja is going to get his back. But you're right. You bring up good points about value plays.
This is the biggest. I see Pudge Machade is saying don't overthink it. I understand that. But there's something called EV in betting, and that's how you kill your bankroll. You kill your bankroll by taking negative EV time and time again. You have to find the value where it's at. And taking someone by submission in a 5-round fight against a cardio beast that is Joshua Van, who has, let me tell you as a grappler,
Beautiful boxing.
Great,
Good takedown
great
defense.
anti-grappling,
Good
man.
hips. Good hips. You know why?
Great
Because
hips.
what's the
Dry,
opposite of
athletic. He played soccer his whole life, so he's not
he's
worried about
urgent.
getting tired.
He's
He's not
urgent.
worried about getting tired.
Yeah.
When you're not worried about getting tired, it's so
Yeah.
powerful. It is
Weaponizing your
so.
cardio. And you
It's
never
insane.
see
And
you also never see him get comfortable on his back. The dude does it,
never.
he won't allow it. It's not going to happen.
Butterfly hooks,
Yeah.
underhooks, overhooks.
Boom, 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 boom.
I understand. Submission by Pantoja realistically is his path to victory. Because I promise you, if this gets past round 2 and we see Joshua Van get up off his back for the 3rd time, fucking smash Josh Van live.
Are you playing?
Smash it with
Are you
2
playing Van
hands
by
and you
knockout?
fucking run it.
Are you playing Van by Van on points?
No, I'm not playing this fight at all. I'm watching it
Okay.
live bet 100%. Like I'm telling you, after round 2, Johnny, if Joshua Van is getting those underhooks and digging his ass off that back, man, y'all Pantoja boys better be saying a Hail Mary. I'm telling you guys, that body work, brother, that body work. Oh man.
So here we go.
You know what? And also too as well, everyone's talking about Joshua Van like he's not less than 25 years old, like he didn't start MMA less than 4 freaking years ago.
He's a young buck, dude.
He is one of those fighters that's going to learn fight over fight. Pantoja has absolutely peaked his ceiling. We know what we're getting with Pantoja. Pantoja sub, completely understand it. All you Pantoja bettors better be praying if it gets past 7.5 minutes and Joshua Van starts ripping up that body. It's a bad fucking day. It's a
better be listening.
Day.
All right, so Nick, we have 2 on there. So sent from Pet. He's in our Discord. Anyone did that 4-way? We need 2 more. We got 2 in there. We got 2 live. We got Manny Torres on that decision no bet. We got Jalen on that 2-way sub or on points. We need 2 more, Nick.
2 more is putting a lot of pressure on me, but I got 1 more that I really like at plus money too as well.
And then I'll go. And then I'll pick one. I
was gonna say you have to have it.
All right, here we go.
Nazim Sadikov versus Fares Sahim. Nazim Sadikov at plus money. It's just about even, but he's plus 110 on my book. I think Zadikov is a dog. He's an absolute dog. He walks through the fire. He has a grappling upside edge here. He has a physicality edge here. I don't think there's a cardio edge for either fighter, either which way. Fares Sahim has had some good performances. He's been keeping people at the end of his kicks, really good low kicks and good at battering people. But Nazim has this weird tendency to somehow get inside on people, make them uncomfortable, and really just rough them up and beat them up. He starts putting Fares Sahim's back against the cage, which he eventually will. I have strong faith that he's going to win round 3 at this point. It really comes down to how the round 2 flow goes, because round 1's probably going to be Fares Sahim keeping him at the end of his kicks. And then we're going to be really thinking about how does round 2 go. But I like Sadikov a lot in this spot here, man. I think Sadikov really at some point is going to get on the inside, work him up, beat him up. Give me Nazim Sadikov in this case here. And yes, Pantoja is a fucking psychopath. Also one of those fighters that weaponizes his cardio. But guys.
Those are my favorite. Those are my favorite.
People are sleeping on Joshua Van and his fight over fight growth. You hear on my breakdowns, I say it all the time. Fight over fight growth. You hear it all the time from me.
It makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like we're kind of seeing, we see that to a smaller extent in boxing. It's kind of like when we look at a fighter like Pitbull Cruz who's getting ready to fight Roach, and I don't mean to pivot here, but it's like you see what his game, he hasn't put any levels on his game. He's been this way. He's always been this way. He's not going to change. Van is not that. Joshua is adding levels fight by fight. And it's one that you realize these 3 legs are already at plus 1,600.
I'm actually going to put it together on my book right now. That's why I'm like odd shopping. So I wanted to see what I was like, plus 425. It's actually pretty good just for what I got already. But then, it's
I think what am I not seeing with Tatsuro Taira? People think that he's gonna be too like Moreno is done, or people say Moreno's just washed.
I just think it really comes down to an age factor, quite frankly, here for you. Let me pull up Moreno's record so really quickly, man, Brandon Moreno has a very interesting record.
Because he started off, he had that record in Mexico. He comes to the UFC, gets kicked out of the UFC, has a couple regional fights, then goes on his run.
Okay, so I just wanted to see to make sure I wasn't tripping.
23-8.
So he clearly beat Albazi. He had that loss against Brandon Royval where a lot of people thought he got robbed. My reason that I was saying he's interesting, there's a few losses where a lot of people thought he got robbed. I thought in the last fight against Figueiredo, or the middle fight against Figueiredo, he won that fight. I didn't even think they had to go into the third fight specifically.
Yeah.
Pantoja fight live, I thought he won the Pantoja fight while watching it live.
Same.
Brandon Royval, a lot of people thought he won that fight, and I thought Brandon Royval won that fight. And
Raw
I don't
dog.
remember how he looked against Usyk specifically, but Tatsuro Taira realistically is back taker bust. He had that freak finish specifically over Alex Perez where he bended him over and shifted over the back leg.
Towards
But the
knee.
one thing that we did see against Brandon Royval is he fought grit and tooth and nail. And wasn't that a 5-round fight against Brandon Royval, if I'm not mistaken, too, as well? It was a 5-round fight. And he really did. It was a completely momentum swing. It was the winner of round 5 won that fight, and he lost that round. But I think
it
we
was
saw
5
a lot
rounds.
of good out of Tatsuro Taira specifically, and it's probably just a difference in trajectories. Even though Brandon Moreno is coming off 2 wins against 2 pretty good guys, Steven Usyk may not be the guy that we thought he was specifically, but Amir Albazi is pretty good. So
Yeah, true.
I would stay away from this fight personally, but I don't want to. That's not me, as you know. We're not here to talk anyone out of their pick. Those
How about
are just
Merab?
Random thoughts.
Merab versus Jan.
It's hard to bet against a guy that can throw 300 punches and spam 50 takedowns in a fight.
Could you imagine training for that freaking guy, dude? Holy shit,
Dude,
he'd be a freaking nightmare to train. He would stress you out. Your weight cut would be fucked because your cortisol levels would be shooting through the fucking roof. He makes your weight cut shitty.
Dude, it's like how do you train for that?
No idea.
It's literally he has a third lung somehow.
Fucking hell.
There's going to be a fight. What's crazy about Merab is there's going to be a fight that he's going to get cracked by somebody.
Didn't we see this happen though?
He got cracked against Marlon Moraes, and he got cracked against.
Oh yeah.
There's one more fighter he got cracked against. Did he get hurt against Jose Aldo? Did he get hurt early against Jose Aldo? I could be wrong about that.
He was in bad shape against Marlon. I remember that, dude. That poor Marlon Moraes, dude. That dude was like a split second away. Ricky Simone bulldog.
Didn't Ricky Simone put him to sleep in like the last second? And there was like a lot of controversy.
Yeah, subbed him.
So I think realistically, man, FanDuel's going to offer.
He started out 0-2 in the UFC. Merab did.
FanDuel's going to offer us a takedown special in the States where it's going to be like Merab 8+ takedowns and the win is going to be like plus 105. And I'm going to ladder that up all the way to like 12 takedowns. So, Kiza, thank you, Kiza, my dog. Did Cejudo rock him? I'm trying to think, man. Merab has such a good resume and run. The fact that I'm questioning if he got rocked by Jose Aldo or Cejudo.
Yeah,
his resume is like literally as peak and tier as it gets.
He loses his first 2 to Frankie Saez and Ricky Simone, then beats Terry and Ware, Brad Katona, Gracie Kenny, Gustavo Lopez, John Dotson, Cody Stamans,
Signs, Arizona legend, dog.
Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, Henry Cejudo, Sean O'Malley, Umar Nurmagomedov, Sean O'Malley, Corey Sandhagen. That fucking resume is ridiculous.
There's gonna be a fight where someone used the term because I said, man, it's hard to fight this many times and do as many takedowns as many camps as you do, no matter who you are. And he's used the term, I forgot who I was talking to, says, yeah, he's redlining his body. And I'm genuinely curious when we're gonna see that take into effect. And Peter Yan, man,
dog.
I mean, he's so technically good. In terms of pure tangibles, he may be one of the best fighters on planet Earth.
He's another guy who came up through Tiger Muay Thai. Fucking everything he does is technically sound. He's aggressive. He's mean as fuck. People forget the run he was on. Before you came on the live, I was like,
were amazing, bro. Like, the way he did Uriah Faber.
Dude, Uriah is like my goat. And I'm not even that big of a grappler, but I remember watching Uriah in the WEC days, dude. And fucking when I saw Jan handle Uriah like that, it kind of hurt me a bit.
Yeah, dude, putting him on his back with the straight rights, bro.
Insane.
Literally underhook, punking him, sweeping him, and then switching stances on him and loading up a left hand down the pipe is just absolutely insane.
It was literally watching like an older version of UFC and then the newer model, like the updated version right in front of us.
Well, all of his losses are like bullshit, bro. His Magomedov loss that people don't know about in
I know.
ACA, he got a point taken away. He got a point deducted, and it was a split decision loss, so he shouldn't have lost that fight here. And then you have the Aljamain losses. We don't even have to talk about that one. We don't even have to talk about the Aljamain loss here specifically. There's also one more loss in his career that was bullshit too as well, but
do you think that he's live here?
Sorry, my brain's not firing off the same way.
Bro, we covered so many fights,
what we
mate.
Talked about with Zarate, because I was watching Zarate and CP Freshmart all day. Like the fact that I have full on breakdowns of Zarate and CP Freshmart. It's so
fucking. I read on my first live stream, I read the message you sent me to the boys on the live. I was like, bro, Nick is a savage. Here's his breakdown of Freshmart versus fucking Zarate.
Yeah, bro, I'm just like, my brain is cooked. And it's funny is I'm halfway through Fulton Foster. Like, I've been so hesitant about that fight because that fight goes with. I know this is MMA. Let me jump back to MMA, but yeah. So I'm just apologizing for my brain being fried by so many fights.
That's like a grappler going for takedowns even after they're tired. You go right back to the boxing. So I got to give you guys one then. Fucking.
Yeah, you have to choose one, bro, because I love those 3 legs, and I'm gonna
take Talbot. I like Talbot by decision here.
See, that's a good bet.
I like Talbot by decision here because like Henry. He's grasping, he's reaching, come on, Henry. And I think I like Talbot on points too, $1.05. He's in plus money. I'm gonna take that. Do you agree with that or no?
I think Cejudo's tough, doesn't get finished by Talbot, and I do agree with that actually. I think
it's a 3-rounder.
I've heard a few people that are pretty decently sharp talk about they think Cejudo's live here, and I don't see it, man. It's just a complete regression. And again, Talbot's so young and so green in MMA.
He's growing.
Dude, he's going to progress fight over fight. I'm telling you guys, he learned so much from that Raoni Barcelos fight, and Raoni's freaking good, man.
Dude, Barcelos has been doing the damn thing for 2 decades. I remember watching
He's a national wrestling champion of his country. And I don't care. Like, what are we
lives in the gym. Lives in the gym. Big ass hands, dude. I had a friend who was grappling with him. He was talking about his grip strength. He was like, he had never been grabbed like that before. I was like, Jesus Christ. Dude, we just saw him shine. He just fought against beat Ricky Simone.
Yeah, bro. And he beat him clearly, man.
Yeah. That's insane. He's like 82 years old.
Dude, but he looks good, man. I mean, he got knocked out by fucking Umar, man. There's no shame in getting knocked out by Umar Nurmagomedov. Let's just say it like that. So I just think there's a lot of value on this card here, and I like all those bets. Jalen Turner submission, Nazim Sadikov. I think Manuel Torres here, decision no bet. If you want to get frisky, you take Manuel Torres just as money line, quite frankly here. So
and Peyton Talbot, guys, that 4-leg is paying 30 plus 3,200. That's insane.
Yeah, that's a hell of a parlay. It's a hell of a parlay, boys.
So, Big Dog. So, when are you gonna drop your? We're gonna boys. I'm gonna wrap this up in the next 90 seconds because I gotta run. When are you gonna drop your upload of Roach Foster versus Fulton?
I keep saying this. This is no BS. I'm dropping Foster, Fulton, and Cruz Roach tomorrow.
Okay.
I have to drop them both tomorrow because I want to give them out at least a few times out to give people really the tape study and the time. Those are going to be only 2 tape studies. But I'm glad that the Janibek-Laura fight tape completely isn't going to waste because I got to crack up on some tape on Johan Gonzalez. Mm-hmm. And I don't really want to give away too much, but I want to just say this. If you plan on betting Lara versus Johan Gonzalez, the only fight you need to watch is Jesus Ramos, Southpaw, versus Gonzalez. That will do a lot of justice and favors for you guys. So,
and on that note, man, Jesus Ramos is fighting Shane Mosley Jr., which is another hell of a fight. There's a lot of good fights this weekend all across the board. Nick, tell them where they could follow you at.
So on Twitter, it's Breaking B Boxing. On YouTube, it's Breaking Bad Boxing here for you. So holler at me. I hope you guys, man, that's really it.
We'll send me your way, Big Dog.
Man, brother.
You're the man as well, brother. Have a good night, and then I'll see you in the Discord. I'll see you on the chat.
Hey, take care, everyone. Appreciate you, Johnny. I'll see you next time, brother.
See you, Big Dog. All right, Rando, I'm gonna put that in the Discord, guys. Let's do that together. So if you guys want, obviously, I'm not that big of a MMA prop guy, but I'll screenshot it for you. I'm gonna put two different parlays in the Discord. All right, Rando. I'm gonna put this one, and then I'm gonna put a modified version of this one that are kind of a little bit safer than this one. So we got Manny Torres. You know what? I'll just do it this way. So we got Manny Torres, no bet. Decision, no bet. Jalen Turner, sub or on points. Sadikov, money line. Peyton Talbot on points. That's 35 to 1. So that's 35 to 1. What I'm going to do and put it in the Discord, I'm probably going to take Peyton Talbot. I'm probably just going to do points. Peyton Talbot's already plus money. I'm taking him on points. Manny Torres is already plus money. I'm taking him on points. I'm personally not going to put any of the prop angles on that, so we'll see what those odds will be. So if you go my route, I'm going to go Talbot. And I'll put both of these up in the Discord. All right, so the first one was 30 plus 3,500, which is fun. Okay, so Talbot's money line. Sadikov, who's plus money line. Manny Torres, who's a 2-1 dog, money line. That's 3. And then what was the fourth one? Jalen Turner. And Jalen Turner on the money line over Barbosa at $1.33. All right, so mine's paying 9 to 1. So you're gonna have two options, guys. In the Discord, you'll have two UFC options. The one that pays 9 to 1, the one that pays plus 3,500. See you in the next one, boys.